Hi, I'm Felicity and welcome to my channel. So I'm a psychologist and also a wannabe homesteader. I've been vegetable gardening for, I don't know, I reckon 6 years or so. Still not that great at it, but it's a work in progress. Oh, my girls are saying hello. Hi, lovely girls. Hello. Look at you old fossil. Hey, look at you. Hi. Oh, got caught on your fence. So I thought I might take you guys on a tour of the property. We're on 3 acres here in South Australia. It's a cool temperate climate, so we're heading into winter in next week. So what does that mean here in South Australia? It means it was -2 this morning when I got up, and it ended up being like 18 or 19 degrees. So the temperature difference was a little interesting. Really didn't know what to wear today. What else? Why don't I just start walking down and we'll go from there. Cool. So I guess my idea of making this channel was to actually make me move. My partner and I have been on this property. I think we bought it in 2019, and at the end of 2019, you know, when there was like fires everywhere in Australia, it's like kind of Australia was on fire, and I think that was November, just before COVID hit too, and I think it was 6 weeks after we moved into the place, we had to evacuate, so that was fun. Oh, sorry, I'm blinding you with the sun there. And that was pretty scary. I'm a suburban girl. I've never been in an area with fire, sorry, end of a cold. So that was pretty scary, and anyway, and then COVID hit, but it was kind of a good opportunity, you know, besides the fact that it was a terrible time for people. Like everybody else, I suppose, to practice a bit of... I'd had chickens for a few years, but let me tell you, I got more. Like, well, everyone else is. I shall too. And we started the garden in earnest because it was in the summer. And it was a much bigger property than I was used to. I mean, it's only a small, tiny, itty-bitty micro farm, but for me, I'd only been on a suburban block, so being on 3 acres was huge. And but the big issue was cool temperate. I'd never been in cool temperate climates before. I mean, I lived in Canada for years, but I didn't grow anything back then. Hang on a second, my arm's getting tired. Victor, you gonna say hi to the folks out there? No. He looks so friendly, but you know what? He's nearly crushed my foot before because he thought I was gonna get him with a bucket. Yes, you're very protective of your ladies. And this is his daughter. That's, hang on, we got Peep over here. Hey, gorgeous girl. Why can't I remember your name? Sorry. I'll remember it when it no longer matters. And then we got Mint. Mint, she's like a dorper, bit of a midget. Hang on, dude. I got Victor following me. And look at this chubby little fella. Oh, you'd like to be in the camera? Would you like to be in the camera? There we go. It's all right, Victor. No one will hurt you. Anyway, what was I saying before my arm got sore? So cool temperate was not something I was used to. I was used to living in kind of the Barossa region, and that was hot. And stuff grew easily. It was pretty good, actually. I learned how to grow tomatoes and all those sorts of good things, and learned how to raise chickens. So being here has been a bit of a battle at times. I guess I got a bit defeated because of the weather here. Things just didn't grow easily. The summer was short. And so the cars are going past and distracting me. I have such a short attention span. So yeah, the seasons, the summer was short, winter was long, cold, nothing seemed to really grow. I got shade everywhere. Look, tree, 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 and one more tree. They're everywhere. So that made things really difficult too, because we're in shade, like a lot of the time. So anyway, what we just decided to do, we've got this bit of land down the front. So this is the front area. Here we go, I think that's the gate over there. And we're next to, sorry, terrible camera work. Here, I'm gonna stop it. So here we go, with my big fat head in the road. So this is the front of the property. We're on a corner, and there's our old green shed over there for wood, etc. And this is the area, there's a vineyard over there in the next door. This is where we decided to set things up. Now it's looking pretty blank at the moment because we're actually starting again. We were going to sell this place and move to something bigger, and things just haven't worked out, so we're kind of at a bit of a blank slate because we got rid of everything, and so that whoever was going to move in could do whatever they wanted to do, but because things just didn't go through as planned, we're still here. I think sometimes bigger is not always better. Yeah, we could have potentially done more, but it also costs more to live on more land, and I have to be honest, it's so expensive over here. It's kind of ridiculous, and so yeah, I'm happy with where we are. So in some ways it's kind of a good start to starting this YouTube video, because we get to kind of start from scratch, but this time with a bit of wisdom behind me. If I'd done this a few years ago, I don't know what I was doing. Let's be honest, I still don't. So look, I am a psychologist, and so every so often I'll make it a bit more, psychology based. So I'm more of an expert in psychology than anything else. Gardening, a bit less so. So I'll stumble along, I'm sure, with everybody else. This camera stand is like heavy. My arm's hurting. Ow, I'm gonna have to stop and change it, hang on. Permaculture, looking at utilising the edge, utilising anything you can, but there's a lot of sun. Oh, here's my finger, you'll see that close up. I'll get rid of that. So on the edge where the two properties meet, we're going to plant more fruit trees along here, and we think we're going to do the same over here because that's where a lot of the sun is, and like I said before, we struggle to get sun, and that's a little bit ironic in Australia because there's sun everywhere you go, especially at the moment. Usually our property is quite green by now, and we have had so little rain. South Australia is one of the dry states in Australia, but where I am, Adelaide Hills, not dry at all, but it is now, and it's looking really brown. Here, I'll show you, we've got a creek. There's nothing in the creek. Oh, there's a pool. Hang on a second. I'll show you before I get blinded. There's our little creek, and that little creek. Nothing's happening in it on this side. Try not to turn to make you guys spew. You really can't see anything there. That's really uninteresting. So anyway, let me take you over to the rest of the front of the property anyway, so you can have a bit of a look. We haven't really done much, so this is the other side of the creek, and to be honest, it floods every so often, at least once during the winter. Maybe it won't this year because there's such a lack of rain, and so we can't really do much with it. We could, hey, over there, motorbikes. What could we do? We could make it into more of a paddock and have the sheep grazing here. We've only got a few, so, but at the moment, you should see the paddock. It's usually green, or at least getting green. Nothing in that paddock for the sheep, nothing whatsoever. It is brown and it is dry. Dry, vineyard over there. Dry. Brown and dry. Ugh. So, yeah, this area, yes, we could fence off. Maybe we should. The problem is that over here, there has been fencing in the past, and sometimes the flooding is quite significant, and it comes all the way, the water has come all the way to the fence. Not when we owned the property, but previously with the fencing there, it got washed away. So there's nothing there now, and hasn't been for a number of years. Sometimes you ever feel like you're being followed? Sheepies. I'm the feeder around here, so everyone comes running when I come past. Chickens, sheep, dogs. One dog actually, Gary. Cat, you name it. Animals run when they see me. So here we go, this is where sheep over here. This is the main paddock. And up the top you see to the centre at the top of the video, you can see a shed. That's the chicken coop, the main one. Walk and talk and hold a camera at the same time. I can barely walk and talk at the same time, let's be honest. So that shed, hand wasn't going that way. My plan is to move the chickens out of there and actually have them down the front, where I'm going to have re-establish the veggie garden, have a tunnel made by me, because it's freaking expensive to buy tunnels, quite frankly, polytunnels. What else down there? So more fruit trees. I love a good fruit tree. Maybe some trees that are more nitrogen fixing, and we'll just go from there. So there's another paddock here, but the sun is like brutal. But anyway, that's the second paddock. Probably not a very good shot, but well. So coming up here, the thing about being in the Adelaide Hills is steep driveways are common. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to huff and puff on my own, and I'll leave you behind. It's funny, actually our property, let me just show you the trees. This is the second paddock. I love this paddock. Look at the trees, still got a few leaves on them. Even though it's late autumn, these guys don't change until quite late. It's lovely. There we go. Better view of the second paddock. I was going to say something about the Adelaide Hills before, but I can't remember. No, nothing. I got nothing. Seriously, shocking memory. Poor attention, easily distractible. Distracted, I should say. Anyone would think I had mild ADHD. Never been diagnosed, self-diagnosed, but I can probably get away with that because I'm a psychologist. So this has been my main chicken coop for a number of years since I've been here, since 2019. But at some stage we're going to fence all the area where the garden is down the bottom, and move the chickens to the orchard area. And I'd like to have a couple of goats in here, one at least being a milking goat. So again, we can move closer to a little bit of self-sufficiency. That's Roy, he's already gone to bed. It's only like, I don't know, not quite 5 in the afternoon. Anyway, Roy likes to get in bed early, maybe 4:30. All right, I'll take us down. Say hi to the boys and girls. I don't have any big roosters anymore. They tend to attack. Although the last couple of boys I had a soft spot for, and they got killed by foxes. Foxes are horrendous here. We've got one that's been next door, maybe living in the vineyard. Freaking huge, like the size of Gary. Oh, here they are. Hang on. Hello, girls and boys. Hello. How are you? While I'm here, show the coop. It's a pretty old coop now. I don't know when. I'm assuming it was first built back in. The house is from the 90s, 94 I think. So I have no doubt the coop is of a similar age. It's not pretty, but that's okay. But practical, not pretty, right? So because of the foxes, so this fencing, sorry, camera work, is not that high. So we've had to extend it out, and I used omelette fencing actually. Sorry for the sun here, blinding my face. We had to use it because the foxes, oh my gosh, was it last year or the year before? I lost so many chickens, and my neighbour did too. I think between us, I think I lost 15, 10 in one go, because they were pullets, and the fox broke in to the coop. Oh, they're just wretched around here. So at the top of the property now, we've got that large paddock and looking down, got the chicken coop, the birds, many birds. That's my partner's veggie bed. Look, I've tried this one in the past, to be honest. It's often in shade, and I gave up. So he's trying his hand at it now. I think we've got, holy, what's he got in there? You probably won't be able to see it, but some parsley. I think I gave him some peas, green peas, something else. And trusty old compost bin. To be honest, that compost bin is really heavy, and I can't spin it. Over here we've got the worm farm. That doesn't do too badly. Oh, it's still dripping. I should have picked up some more worm tea. So So worm tea is really useful. Like, I have to go, I've been slack with it for the last few years. Last year, trying to find a better position, there we go. Last year, so I used to work in government, and I went out on my own for about actually just after COVID. I thought it was my opportunity. Sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? But there was a lot of need, and I was a bit done working in government, and so I jumped at the opportunity to, well, I thought I'd been in private practice for a few years, but only just on the side, like a few hours a week or whatever, and I decided to pull the plug and go the whole way. It's funny actually, because I'd always thought I would never get into business on my own, and partly it's because I didn't know anyone I only knew some old guys who had run their own business and it had been handed to them by their father or whatever. I just knew employees. Everyone was an employee, and look, I don't know if I would have, if I'd known what I know now, would I've done it maybe a bit earlier. But I actually did like my job for quite a while where I worked in education, the education system here in South Australia, and yeah, I actually did like it generally. I really loved the people I worked with, but same job. I have a short attention span. I get bored easily, so I really needed to change, and private was the way to go. And there was such a need, during particularly those first couple of years of COVID. And let's be honest, it was a really good way to establish a business, because I was busy and I got my name out there, and went from there. So anyway, let me stop yakking for a second. So this is the garden bed I started with, and just up here. And I have to be honest, it's been so both struggling with the cold and also struggling with shade. As you can see, there's massive pine trees going all the way down to the end of that large paddock, and all the way up here. Some of them are dying now, but they've been an absolute pain, so we've really struggled with sun and being able to grow things. But here's my handiwork from yesterday, actually, on Saturday. So that's fleece, and I just chucked in a couple of hoops using blue line, or was it green line? One of those, something with line. What have we got? We've got grapes here. Actually they do produce grapes. It's a very small vine. We got some rhubarb there. Hang on, let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got some, these are this is shelving from, I have a rental property, and I put in new wardrobes and I took the shelving. So anyway, repurpose. There's some peas, there's some parsley. Don't know how great that one's looking. We'll see how that survives. Another pea. And what have we got in here? I think, what did I do? There's leeks in there. Oh, sorry, terrible camera work. And then I've got another pea. And then I've got cauliflower. There we go. Got cauliflower and broccoli in there. Smells like compost. Not not any that I made though. It was stored. But it's SA produced, SA composters, and yeah, pretty decent stuff. From what I can gather, any compost is good. Well, generally, and it's organic as well. So, what have we got? These ones, I don't know. I think what we're going to try and do is take down at some stage some of those trees, and so these might go down the front. We'll see. It's been spinach for the chickens. Where is it? Spinach? It might be chard I think. And otherwise I was going to just put herbs in there. So we'll, oh, this is the pool. Not a huge fan of the pool, quite frankly. I could do without a pool, but there it is. Having a pool in a cool temperate environment, bit of a waste of time, but anyway, it is what it is. So I'll come up to the top. Sorry, terrible camera work, and I will show you my veggie pots. So one thing we had been going to do was we talked about filling in the pool, which is actually not surprising because everything here in Australia is expensive. But we were going to fill it all in because this is where we get sun up here. But then we're going to sell, and then the liner busted, and we had to get that fixed. Blah 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 blah. So I still got the pool. Anyway, oh well. So anyway, veggie pods over there. I'll maybe next time I'll go down, and they've been really good. I did move them this weekend because we noticed that the winter sun, we had them along here as well, but the winter sun wasn't hitting there for very long, so we've moved the veggie pods. I was thinking that what I'd do would be have them all along here. I think it only works in the summer, and to be honest, warmth and sun in the summer is not such an issue in this area. The sun isn't too much of an issue around the pool. So I mean, they're good season extenders, but I'll talk about, I mean, everyone's got their own microclimate, so you know, what's good for one person isn't necessarily good for everybody else. We do find here though, we need to extend the season. So we get frost probably, I think we've had it in October, definitely September, and that's, you know, and that's actually why I've got fleece. Have I used it much? No, not really. Oh, that's right, that's what I was going to say before when I was blathering on about work. Last year I really hit a wall. Running your own business is freaking hard, and it's long hours, and there's just nothing but tasks, task after task after task after task that has to be done. And so I do most of it, a lot of it myself. I have admin, and my sister helps out with a bit of bookkeeping. Thank you, sister. And that's it. So a lot of it falls to me because, you know, it has to be me. And I'm not great at not multitasking, delegating. But last year, I think with, you know, struggling a bit with the garden, having enough money to do all the things that we wanted to do, and, you know, it's a bit of a balance trying to do things DIY. Partner and I aren't the best at DIY, to be honest, but we try. But the issue is, you know, everything costs a small fortune. So last year we got solar and got the roof done, and work was crazy busy, and I don't think I planted a thing. I just let it all go. The year before I'd had like some crazy, like down the front, I'd done tomatoes, and I had like 50 plants, the most I'd ever done, and it was prolific, it was amazing. And then I gave up the year after. So last year was a bit of a hit and miss, and then the beginning of this year, January, I had some holidays, and I'm like, you know, I just want to try and get back into the garden. So I bought those veggie pods in the hopes that it would inspire me to. It was something that was close to the house. You know, if you think about in permaculture, zone 1 being, you know, close to the house and being most convenient, where you can just walk outside, pick a few things. And so we planted everything was late, obviously, being end of January, but I still got tomatoes, still getting tomatoes now, actually, crazily enough. And, you know, the zucchini was a bit ordinary, only because it was so late in the season, and a few other bits and pieces, can't remember now, cabbage, I think. Started broccoli, so I'm really trying to focus on broccoli because we eat a lot of it, and tucking in a bit of cauliflower. The cauliflower has been a slow start in the veggie pods, but I've already harvested some broccoli, and broccoli and a couple of the veggie pods are really taking off, so it's been fine. Anyway, enough about broccoli. Hang on, I'll show my plans for the chicken coop. So this is the second coop I'm about to show you. I actually started up here when I first started the video. Getting camera felicity. Let me just show you. So my thoughts are, so you can see all the girls planning to head in at some stage, getting dark. My thoughts are this will be the chicken coop, the retirement village, where all the girls go that are, you know, no more egg laying, they're getting old. I have to be honest, I find that my heritage chickens haven't lasted that long here. Most of them have been taken by foxes at different points, and then a few of them have had, you know, cancer. Had one girl with cancer and gout. I don't know, chickens got gout. And yeah, the oldest one was my first girl. Her name, they had Princess Leia and Perry. It was in Peri Peri Chicken. So Princess Leia, I think she was gone in my first year here. I had no knowledge about foxes. We went out, I can't believe this now, didn't lock the gate shut. I feel like my pals and I were like, oh, they'll be right until we get home. I think we went out for dinner. They weren't all right. Lessons learned. And poor Princess Leia, yeah, she was attacked. She wasn't taken because she was too fat and heavy. Being an Australorp, they're big girls. But my arm is killing me. Who knew that carrying a phone around on a stand would be so heavy? Anyway, so she was gone, and then my girl, her little buddy Perry, she died last year. Was it last year or the year before? Oh, I tell you, the years have been blurring the last couple of years. So she was also attacked by a fox. This is when sort of towards the end of all the fox attacks had been prolific. So I think it was 22, and then earlier in 23. So Perry got taken. Well, she was injured. She wasn't taken because again she was too fat and heavy. So she would have been. She was 4.5, and so you know if she'd lived, she would be 5.5 now, or 5 at least. So, but most of my girls have not lived beyond 4, and yeah, I don't know. Other people say, oh yeah, my chicken was. I think this one lady online on Facebook was like, I don't know, something crazy like 13. I've never even seen that old a chicken that old, seriously. So my thoughts, so the main chicken coop at the moment is going to be a goat pen, milking goats. I'll bring all the old girls up here, similar to actually my Australorp. She's quite old. She was my original COVID chicken, hello girlfriend. And then my light Sussex, she came not much later. She's getting old too. I think she's a good tumour actually, but she's been pretty healthy overall. She runs around and eats well, so I'll leave her for now until she looks like she's struggling. I won't put her down yet. And actually I do put them down. I take them to the vet. I'm too much of a chicken to go and lop a head off. No, can't do it. Can't do it. They're my pets, so there's no way. The girls will just live out their lives and be freeloaders, as people often say. And yeah, so the pen at the top will be for old girls, and then down the bottom where the orchard is, semi-orchard, that's where we're going to put, because they need shade. In the summer down there it gets brutal because that's where the northern sun generally is. Not generally, that's where it is always. North doesn't change. And so I'm going to have mainly Isa Browns. I mean, you know, it's one of those things with chickens, you know, do you go heritage, do you go more commercial chicken? I'm going to have a go with the commercial chickens. I bought my first Isa Browns 18 months ago now. One got taken by a fox, and the other one died of heat in this last summer. It was very hot last summer. There was a couple of days it was brutal, and she died. And so I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? So I've really got to be careful of providing shade for the girls. So it'll be definitely in the orchard, and we'll see how we go there. But I think I'd like to sell some eggs. You know, I kind of like that idea. Often people I see, you know, stands out the front of farms around here, and I kind of like to do the same. It'd be a bit of fun. And also too, when all the girls are younger, you tend to get a lot of eggs, and it's too many for us. So that's pretty much it. Starting to, the light's disappearing now. So I guess my purpose of maybe making these videos is to actually motivate me to keep going. To know that there are other people out there that are doing a bit of homesteading. I don't really use that word much in Australia, but I'm going to use it because I like it. Because I'm not really a farmer. Like farming here, you know, we don't have, you know, 1,000 sheep, and 5 is enough. for us. They're so needy. You know, we're not farmers. We don't produce things to make a living. And so I think that homesteading is more the way what we do. Trying to be more self-sufficient. It's really hard to get away though from 21st century systems, and we here, so we've, you know, obviously we still are on the grid, and we also have mains water, even though for the most part we can use tank water. We've got a number of tanks here. They don't work that efficiently. Good. So I guess I hope that I can post weekly. I have already struggled, so I've done a few videos and canned them because I didn't really like them, and I was going to more base it on, my focus was going to be psychology, but I have to be honest, I don't really want to talk about it that much. That's the problem when it's something that you love so much and it becomes a job. It really takes the joy out of it, I have to say. I mean, I do really like therapy and I still really like assessment, but you do it day after day for a few years, 12 or 13 actually. It's a lot less, it's a little bit brutal. So I would just love to be able to have that balance. You know, doesn't everyone just want that balance of being able to work when you want? And, you know, I actually do really like doing therapy and assessment, and I think if I had the headspace, you know, to do it, you know, I'd love to do like 2-3 days a week, and then, you know, just be a homesteader just the rest of the time. That'd be amazing. But having said that, I'll probably be like, oh no, out in the garden again. I've always got some scheming project, always trying to do something. So I think I want these videos in part to be a bit of a selfish thing to help me stick to something. Look, I have stuck to it to a certain extent, but I do need to focus more, and I feel that doing videos will probably help me focus. I'm just shocking. Love going from project to project. Is that boredom? You know what I mean? Anyway, I will finish here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it hasn't been... I am a bit of a slow talker, so my apologies if there's a lot of hesitating and me trying to find my words. There'll probably be a lot of that. I think there's a chicken in the background laughing at me, I'm sure of it. So anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and let's see if I can post one in a week's time. A video. We'll see how we go. Anyway, take care guys. See ya.